What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Mike. I am a full-time media reseller. I go around to thrift stores like in today's video. I scan all the books, CDs, DVDs with my little finger e-yo-yo scanner here. Phone app Scally tells you whether or not you're buying it. That's all there is to it. You know, it's not really an exciting life. Every once in a while there's a little bit of excitement, but hey, it's an honest living, right? It's an honest living. Today's topic is a very important one. And we kind of talked about this on one of our weekly Discord Zoom calls. So if you're interested in joining the channel, $2.99. We now have 6 coaching calls for $2.99. That's 50 cents per call. I mean, cheaper than a Happy Meal. That's all I can say. Get inside, get around like-minded people, level up your business. But the topic that came to mind was basically people that skirt across the rules for advantages today, not realizing the possible consequences down the road, right? And one of the main things we were talking about was people that use like blank pieces of paper to ungate in various brands and things like that. And just because they think, oh, I got ungated with a blank piece of paper like that, everything is safe and everything is fine. And I just want people to kind of understand the fact that there's a paper trail, electronic trail for everything that goes on, whether you're selling on eBay or Amazon. So do not try to cheat the system. So that's going to be the topic today. This is my crappiest thrift store. I haven't been here in like 3 months. I mean, it sucks, but I still try to keep them honest, see if anything's changed. I will be excited if we come out of here with 1 item. I mean, that's how bad this store is. But it wasn't that far away, and this topic was on my mind, so I kind of wanted to cover that as well. So I'm shutting up. While I'm in there, you'll see my phone screen, yada, yada, yada. I'll maybe walk around and show you guys some of the more ridiculously priced stuff. So let's go. We're back at the storage unit from my worst thrift store I have in all of my routes in 100+ thrift stores that I actually go to. We got 2 items. Yippee-ki-yay! So we doubled my expected miracle of 1. It's just garbage in there. Everything's basically $3.99, $2.99. I did get one for $1.99. And it is like a textbook. It's got the textbook sticker. So we're going to cover these 2 before we get into the topic. Let me get my screen recording quick. And we do got a little bolo here, kind of just for something for you all to be on the lookout. Fearless Confessions. We paid $1.99. Nothing crazy. Nothing, you know, out of ordinary. $11.80 FBA after fees. And then we have Forgotten Realms. Elminster and Myth Droner, right? So this is your bolo. Forgotten Realms, you see it there on the binding. So if you just walk into a place and you're just scanning with your eyes, Forgotten Realms is always one to always scan. They're most likely going to be, you know, profitable. Some of them are super crazy profitable, but stuff like this adds up. So 2 books, not too shabby. But into the topic, right? I kind of was hitting on it before the actual, you know, thrifting part. Is a lot of people do a lot of shady things. You could have went the other way too, replaced the AD with an ITT, right? So I try to keep everything in my business 100%, right? I try to be as authentic as I can with you all on the channel. I don't want to kind of be doing different things behind the scenes that I'm actually telling people to do, right? I try to instill pride in what I do and try to teach people the right way to do things when it comes to selling on Amazon, right? So the biggest thing is ungating. it's like it comes and goes in seasons, right? And I see it on social media. If you're not out on all the social media platforms, like a few people will try to get ungated using blank pieces of paper, selfies of themselves, and it works. And then all of a sudden, all these crazy people just start getting ungated just to get ungated, and they're not doing it the right way. So you put your account at risk for nothing because you're never going to sell it, right? You're just doing it just to do it. And you think, well, it goes through. There's no way Amazon is going to be like, hey, we see you're ungating with a blank piece of paper because it got approved. Well, I'm here to tell you that everything you do on any of these platforms is logged somewhere, right? This ain't 1960 where they got like a Rolodex of what you're doing. It's all electronically logged. If you go and look at all your selling applications, it'll actually show you every single one you even clicked to see if you were gated in. And it'll say, all right, this is a draft. Everything is drafted. All your completed ones are there. All your rejected ones are there. I can go back and look at when I first tried to get ungated in DVDs and I got denied 35 times because I did it completely wrong. And all this is logged on your account. You are playing with fire when it comes to these things. And unfortunately, getting banned on these platforms, it's not like you go to a court hearing and then they hear your side and then they hear their side and the judge makes a call. It is boom, right? They take you out to the guillotine. You don't know it. The guillotine drops, you're gone. So as much as you can be like, well, I can always appeal or I can always, you know, send an email. It don't work like that. It's not a fair game we're playing. And you have to accept the fact that you are at the will of these platforms. They can basically do and say whatever they want to say about you and get rid of you whenever they want to get rid of it. I mean, it's just the reality of it. I mean, we see it happen all the time, right? Just go into the forums, right? Just go out on social media. People are getting suspended, banned, anywhere you look. And sure, a lot of people, it is their fault, but a lot of people, it isn't their fault. And you don't even get a second chance. There's no way to even appeal half of these times. And that's why I always try to tell people is every decision you make that isn't 100% honest, is it worth losing everything over, right? Because that's the reality of it. I do Amazon, 99% Amazon. Every decision I make on Amazon has to be in the best interest of, you know, basically me keeping that account. Sure, there's a risk. If I sell a new DVD, right? I sell Walking Tall here, a new DVD, and Amazon asks for an invoice from a supplier. My thrift store receipt doesn't cut it. There's a risk with anything we're doing. You have to weigh basically every risk you're taking. And if you're doing things that aren't 100% above the line, is it worth losing everything over? I know that sounds dramatic. Oh, Mike, but I just did it to get ungated in Disney one time. Is it really worth losing everything over something so silly? Every decision you're making when it comes to your business, you have to ask yourself that question. Is it worth losing everything over? And if for a second the answer is no, then do not do it. I don't care what other people are doing. I don't care how other people are circumventing rules and just doing things. Yeah, it might work. You can go submit as many blank pieces of paper today and probably get ungated in 50 brands you never would have. But guess what? If the day ever comes and the bucket falls, that's it for you. There's no coming back. They're not going to let you appeal. They're going to get you out, and that's it. I mean, unfortunately, this happens time and time again. And I just want everybody to start thinking about treating this like a business. Is it just a game? Is it just, yeah, sure, I'm going to bend as many rules as I can and see what I can get away with? The reality is you're going to get caught sooner or later. I feel like every week on the weekly call, we always have the conversation of everybody speeds and only 1% of people get caught. But sooner or later, your number is going to be up. And what are you going to do? How bad is that violation going to be? Is it going to be the end of the line? Is it going to be a suspension just because you decided to make a choice that was against the rules, but you could get away with it at the time, right? There was no police officer showing up on your Google Maps, you know, nobody to tell you speed trap ahead, and then all of a sudden you're pulled over. And hopefully you can recover your accounts. But there's cases where that's it, right? Just think about your whole business. Every decision you make that isn't above the line, you are putting your business at risk. And for somebody like myself, my family, this is my income, I rely on this, I'm never, ever going to take a risk that doesn't make sense for the business. And I'm always going to do the best job I can with trying to play within the parameters Amazon and eBay has set up, you know? It's not just Amazon, it's eBay too. Both of these platforms, any of these platforms can drop us all like a bad habit one day. And you want to basically ride the tide as long as you can and make as much money as you can and start thinking of other ways down the line. You know, retirement. You're not going to resell for the next 60 years, are you, right? Start saving money up, getting out of debt, buying a house, doing this, doing that. So if the day ever comes, who cares? You move on to the next thing you want to do. You got a pile of money set aside. But if this is your livelihood, you need to be basing that decision off today. Today needs to be, okay, is it really worth losing my account over? It sounds so dramatic, just me saying it. Like, is it really worth losing your account over by doing some of this stuff? And for me, the answer is always going to be no. It's not worth losing my account over for this reason or that reason, or just doing something because somebody else is doing it. Just because you see somebody else doing it doesn't mean you should do it. So that's going to do it for the video. I appreciate you watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more useful videos. Bye-bye.